The guy who put it together, Mike Hills, the president of baseball operations for the Miami Marlins, joins us now on MLB Tonight. Mike, good to see you. I've been dying to talk to you after the draft because I found it so fascinating to see an organization go, was the ideology best available and just all 6 picks happen to be pitchers, or was that the game plan going into draft night?
No, it was best available, and I think we as we set up our draft board, it was really to take advantage of what the draft afforded us, and each time we picked, starting with the 3rd pick overall with Max Meyer, there was an impactful pitcher that we felt could help our organization, and so we didn't hesitate to make that selection when we got the opportunity.
You know, Mike, it's Harold here. As I watch you guys continue to develop, you're probably a couple of years away from really making that big splash. But as 60 games tempted you to kind of get in this sprint right now?
Well, I guess we'll agree to disagree that we're a few years away, but we feel like
okay,
what we've been able to do.
You're ready.
Yeah, well, we feel like we've been able to do. We've added talent, throughout the organization. You look at what we did this offseason, we felt like we had an incredibly successful offseason and what we were able to add and bringing aboard a Corey Dickerson, signing a Jesus Aguilar, trading for Jonathan Villar, to go along with already a very talented core of young players with Brian Anderson and Miguel Rojas and Jorge Alfaro. And I think that the biggest thing is the pitching and the depth of pitching that we have. And you said it, it's a 60-game sprint. And there's no reason that when we report to Miami here in a few days that Miami shouldn't be in consideration for winning the division and being one of the playoff teams, for this season.
All right, Mike, I stand corrected because I don't want Derek calling me. Y'all competing. I got it. You'll be in there ready to go right now. Greg, you got that?
No, I'm buying it. I really am, because, Mike, the last time we talked, we were in spring camp, me and Mark DeRosa, and the thing that blew us away was the physicality of these young guys in your organization. You were just mentioning some of the big leaguers, but the guys below that at the other levels, it looked like we didn't know if we were at an NFL training camp or a Major League Baseball training camp. There's a physicality to the Marlins, isn't there?
No, and I think that's part of why we're so excited about what's going on and what we're building in South Florida. Is there's layers of talent, and we were very excited with what we were able to do at the Major League level. But the fact that so many of our players are at the upper levels now, 6 in the top 100 of the top prospects, and a lot of them, listed right there. All of those guys are at the upper levels. And Jason Blade, our first-round pick from last year from Vanderbilt, there's just layers of talent, and it's not just position players. It's pitching. We feel like we've been able to layer it in a way that when we do break through, that it's going to allow us to have a sustainable product and year in, year out compete for championships.
Mike, you mentioned Alfaro, Rojas, Anderson as the young core of this ball club. But as we just saw, you are stacked as far as talented players in the minor leagues. Because of the 60-game season, do you envision that a lot of these players will see some action in the big leagues that maybe they wouldn't have if it was the long regular season?
Yeah, I think that's a great question, Carlos. And when you look at how we put together our 60-man player pool, we walk that fine line. We've got all of our top 100 prospects in our 60-player pool. We have a number of our upper-level prospects in our 60-player pool, and those are the next level of players to come up and impact the club. As you know, you never know what happens over the course of a season, but over the course of 60 games, we hope to hit the ground running and come out hot and really, surprise some people, because we do have impactful young talent and talent that we think will allow us to be successful.
Hey, Mike, if you only had a cool Papa Bell or a Josh Gibson or a Oscar Charleston or any of those players, I know you're rocking your Homestead Grays, and we've been talking about tipping the cap to the Negro League, so I want to get your thoughts on that.
Well, I'll take the opportunity to officially tip my cap to the 100th anniversary of the Negro Leagues. I'm actually sporting Josh Gibson's, as you said, Josh Gibson Homestead gray jersey. We at Marlins Park this year, we will be honoring the Negro Leagues, and I think it's a tremendous opportunity just to pay honor and respect to those giants that we stand on the shoulders of, and just let them know how appreciative we are for all the sacrifices that they made to allow us to do what we do.
Thank you for mentioning that, Mike. We're going to do an entire segment on the Negro Leagues. The Negro Leagues Museum president, Bob Kendrick's going to join us later in the show. We look forward to that. But, Mike, thank you so much for your time. We always love catching up with you.
My pleasure, guys. You be well.